The Chicago Bears trading for Joe Thuney was just ranked by CBS Sports as one of the top 5 trades in the NFL this past offseason. We'll talk about that. And then where else do we feel the Bears have improved the most other than the offensive line? We're going to discuss all that and more right after this.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bears Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bears news and content.
What's going on, Bears fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bears Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bears related. I'm the host there, Haize. We're joined by C-Dub, Bobby. Everybody's in the building today. C-Dub got his arms out. I see you, Brody. You hot? What's going on?
Yes,
there no
it's
birds?
very hot in Chicago. Too hot.
Oh, man. With that said, bro, we're going to get right into it, man. The Bears have actually been getting a lot more credit here recently than it started off. We've had a lot of dumbass articles about the Bears doing dumbass shit that people just want to complain about with the Chicago Bears, but they got a little bit of love in this one. The Bears got CBS Sports did a ranking of all the best trades in the offseason, and the Chicago Bears surprisingly got voted as the 3rd best trade in the offseason in trading for Joe Thuney. How you guys feeling about that?
I feel good, even though in a little bit it feels like this is like a 17-year-old trying to ride a bike. We should have been got this offensive line under control. Joe Thuney, I really think he's going to be the difference maker for the Chicago Bears in tandem with the other 2 guys that came along. I think this is the right analysis for the Chicago Bears instead of just throwing stupid ass narratives at our team that doesn't make any sense. So I appreciate little tidbits like this that gives actual factual information.
I agree with that. I think it's definitely one of the better moves across the offseason. I know some people probably look at the George Pickens trade and a couple more other trades that took place, but for the sake of the Chicago Bears and you having your quarterback sacked 68 times to where we was going through the season, like, bro, is he about to break the record for being sacked the most times throughout the season? Thank God that didn't happen, but it was still a glaring issue that we had to come to terms with. And they went out there and they put this work in. Then I agree with C-Dub 100%. I think Joe Thuney, he's a champion, bro. He's a multi-time champion. He's a Hall of Fame type of lineman, and he's gonna go out there and he's gonna hold guys accountable, bring in some winning habits to this organization who has been doing a lot of buffoonery the last few seasons, especially with these last few coaches. So hopefully we turn in this corner. But shout out to them for finally getting something right. Shit.
Absolutely. And I think you got to look at, like, to your point, like, Thuney's won Super Bowls with 2 different organizations, I believe. Like, you got to look at that when you're trying to improve your team and get your team to a place of just being competent. Like, having young players surrounded by the right veterans is something that I think sometimes can go underrated. People can just kind of overlook the importance of that. And we haven't had that. Like, we've had some veterans on the offensive line, but in some cases, the veterans that we have signed have been some of the most disappointing people we've had on the team. Shout out to Nate Davis, right? So, like, So now in bringing in a guy like Joe Thuney and Jonah Jackson, for that matter, people who just have a better kind of not only reputation but just better performance, like it's the right thing to do. The Bears, Ryan Poles finally treated the trenches like something that needed to be improved this year, something that needed to be focused on this season, this offseason, in the way that he went about it. And I, for one, am going to give him a lot of credit for it. I know there's going to be a lot of people that say, well, yeah, he should have did that. It's like, yeah, but I get that. But sometimes finding the right moves, even if you should do it or not, are difficult. And he didn't just go out and just make little moves in regards to it. Like, he went out and got him all pro guys. He got the best center out in the free agent market as well. And he found the right mix of veterans to bring into this team. Now, hopefully, that's going to help the progression. That's going to, of like a Darnell Wright, Ozzie Trapillo, and Luke Newman, for that matter. We talk so much about Ozzie Trapillo. We haven't really talked about Luke Newman at all this offseason. Yeah. He's another offensive lineman that we drafted that has a lot of upside too. But like, having those guys now not having to deal with the bullshit that Darnell Wright had to deal with his first 2 years, I think that's really important for the growth and development of those young guys as well.
And it feels like they taking the offensive line serious. It's about time that we taking it serious and no longer Are we counting on, man, he's just around the corner. He's about to pop this year. It's coming. We not we not drawing off that anymore. We got some seasoned vets that's got lots of accolades, lots of experience, Super Bowl champions. Low, they be taking the offensive line serious this year.
Yeah, my man's Joe Thuney blocked for Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes. So
Wow.
that's some crazy
Resume.
psycho quarterbacks to be blocking for, because you know that the work that they put in and they have high standards. And hopefully that could be some high standards that this Bears team hold themselves to. No bonehead pre-snap penalties, no bonehead personal fouls after we've made positive plays, no bonehead things happening before we even get the game started. We listen to guys like Tom Brady that come in and talk. He say, hey, winning culture starts way before anybody see us in preseason. So hopefully these guys are establishing something to where we can look from the top down and be like, yeah, about time the Chicago Bears are not looking like goofies around the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, and we could very well. Now, I only say could because you know me. This is the Bears, right?
Yep.
Until we see it, but like this, it seems like we've really turned one of our weaknesses possibly into one of our biggest strengths. And winning teams usually have at least average of the league trenches, and most times above average. The Bears have hopefully done that with their offense and their defensive trenches this year, and that's going to be a really big step. You want to see Caleb take a step? The trenches need to be better. You want to see the running game take a step without us going out and getting a huge name at running back? Guess what? The trenches need to be better. The Bears have done that, and that's why like I'm a little bit more calm and patient in regards to like how many people talk about like the running game, because I think the improvements that we've made in the trenches are going to help that running game be better right away off the bat anyway.
Absolutely. Hey man, this is going to be something new for the Chicago Bears fans, especially if you've not been paying attention in this decade. Our offensive line have been our number one weakness for the longest time, and I don't feel either Ryan Poles or the last guy who's been the GM, they haven't put enough effort into building this offensive line. It feels like Ryan Poles has finally sat down like, fuck it, we want to be a real respectable NFL team. Let's get some real offensive linemen in here. And he did just that. Now we just need to see the fruits of his labor and see if it all comes together, because that's all we need is to see it on paper. That's it.
Can we get a winning season, Chicago, please? Can we please get a winning season?
If we get a winning season, y'all may have to check on me for alcohol poisoning, bro. Because it's been so goddamn long, bro. Like I'd be ecstatic for a goddamn winning season, bro. Like a winning season is 9 wins. Like, can we just get that? Like,
for real, bro.
I ain't even talking about winning the North or anything at this point. Like, can we just get a goddamn winning season, bro? Bare minimum.
Yeah, real. It's what is it? 2018 has been since we had a winning record.
Yeah, bro.
Not even this decade, bro. Come on, we due for one. Come on, y'all. We got it.
For real. That's sad. That's sad when you think about it. I'd be like, bro.
It's mid-decade. It's about to be 30s. We about to be in the 30s, bro. Damn.
That means you about to be in the 50s.
No, I ain't about to be in the 50s. Don't listen to Direct.
But with that said, I figured this is a good jumping off point from this. And we're taking the offensive line out because I think most people will know that we've improved the most in the offensive line by far. No question, no ifs, ands, or buts about it, right? But I wanted to throw this question to you guys. Other than the offensive line, where have the Bears improved the most? What position do you feel the Bears have improved the most this season?
Sure. I think when you look at the wide receiver position, I think that has to be the second. When you look at the guys that was here last year and the mainstays, and DJ Moore, he has motivation. He's the leader. He has to be a leader on the field and off. He no longer has Keenan Allen battling him with that alpha type, wide receiver type relationship going on. It's solely him. Then you got Rome Odunze. He's poised to have a great second year, but then here comes the additions that makes it even better. Luther Burton III. I am telling y'all, he is going to be the difference maker for this offense. This guy is a number one skill who's going to be playing in the slot with speed and hands, elite hands. I'm just telling you, just watch and see. Then you add Zacchaeus and Duvernay as backups and guys you can slide in here and there if you want to go 4 and 5 wide. And don't forget to add in my guy Tyler Scott. Just put a question mark there. because we don't know what the hell is going to happen. It could be
don't
good.
put no question mark.
He
Put a
gonna be
missing
gunning.
sign.
I told you.
Put a
I'm
missing
just
sign
saying,
on that
let's put a
shit.
good question mark. We don't know. He might
Nah,
come in
put
training camp and go
put
crazy.
put an APB out. Put a missing person sign out there because that motherfucker don't like, bro. They ain't even talked about this motherfucker, bro. Like that's the problem. Like you got Dominique Robinson's name that came up before Tyler Scott, bro.
That's crazy as hell, bro. And I just want to add these two because they are involved in receiving, because they do have a stat that says catching and receiving touchdowns, the tight ends. You add Loveland, and also you bring back Kmet. The receiving core for the Chicago Bears is going to be the second most improved group.
I like that. I ain't mad at it, and I'm happy, boy. You said Zacchaeus. What?
Yeah, but he messed up Rome's name. Like
I said Rome.
You
What
said
the hell?
Rome
How I messed up
Odunze.
Rome?
You
I
said
didn't say
Odunze.
Odunze. That's how it's pronounced, Odunze, to get it right.
Yeah, but you
sir.
said Odunze. You always had that.
No,
extra
I
syllable.
didn't. No, I didn't.
Do you want me to go back to the tape? Because you know
Yes.
I'm gonna say it.
I think you got PTSD.
Go ahead, Bobby. I'm gonna shut C-Dub up for all intents and purposes. We're gonna go to the tape. But go ahead, Bobby. Go with yours. We're gonna bring it right on up.
I think that C-Dub took bad, so I'm gonna just jump to the defensive line. I think that when you add guys like you get Big Billings back, I think that's gonna be a good addition for them. I think that when you go out there and you sign Dennis Allen's guy and Dio Owendingbo, that's a plus for me. I know there's still people that's wanting us to go out there and make an additional move. Me personally, I'm willing to see what happens first before I try to bring in somebody else. You looking at the ascension of a Javon Dexter and then Montez Sweat. He has to show up. Yes, we know that he went through that injury last season, but now he's having some additional help. And then I'm expecting my guys, Austin Booker, to come up and show what he's made of. We still have a really good, sound backup that can come in and fill the void just in case of injuries. And Daniel Hardy, who I still like, I don't necessarily think we have to pencil him in as a starter, but I think that for some depth and then for giving guys a few snaps off to catch their breath, he can definitely come in and have an impact. So I'm looking at the defensive line because I think that if this defensive line is able to be utilized, and my expectations for Dennis Allen to just let the dogs loose on crucial downs and in situational moments of the game, your 3rd and 5s, your 3rd and 10s, things like that, or we just put up points, we trying to put our foots on their neck. Dennis Allen, he's gonna let the dogs go. And I think that if this defensive line goes out there and do what they need to do, we gonna be able to see what happens, and you allow that good defensive backfield to be well. But anyway, we got film.
All right, let's go run it because C-Dub clearly got Alzheimer's in this mug. Let's play it.
And off. He no longer has Keenan Allen battling him with that alpha type, wide receiver type relationship going on. It's solely him. Then you got Rome Odunze. He's shit. It's hot outside. I'm blaming on my blood pressure.
C-Dub is the biggest gaslighter in the world, bro. He would do something and look you dead in your face and say, "No, that's you. You tripping."
I apologize. I did say it. I apologize. My cholesterol is high right now. It's high.
What the fuck?
First he said it was hot outside. Now it's his cholesterol.
Hey, we need to get
find some
do Cheerios still lower your cholesterol? Do Cheerios still lower your cholesterol, C-Dub?
Hell yeah, if you get honey nut.
Yeah, it's crazy, bro. Like,
oh my God. I apologize, man. I apologize, bro.
don't be sorry, nigga. Be careful. Like,
the real
no.
Oh man. Anyway. Great points by Bobby there. The position group that I'm going to go to, I agree with both of y'all. So this isn't like saying, no, I think this one improved more. Y'all just took the best two. I'll say tight end. Tight end. Adding in Colston Loveland to that. And people forget, too, we still added Durham Smythe in there, which is your blocking tight end. I think we've really upgraded that tight end room a lot. And I think especially under Ben Johnson, where he does like using that 12 personnel set. I think it's really important to upgrade that area. That on top of the slot receiver. And then I think you got Colston Loveland may be the best route runner that we have on this team. And so you adding a guy like that to this team and giving that, and keep in mind when you are able to go to 12 personnel, you have 2 tight ends at the ability of Cole Kmet and Colston Loveland. That makes the game easier on Caleb. Like if for some reason something's not going on downfield, you have those two guys there, and Colston with his route running ability that is really going to help, I think, simplify some things for Caleb when he gets in trouble a little bit. So I really like adding both of those guys. I think it's really important that they went out and added Colston Loveland. I think we're going to have a really solid tight end rotation. And Durham Smythe, while he hasn't getting talked about a lot, is a really good blocking tight end. So even having him to be able to come out there on some 12 personnel sets and not necessarily be the guy that catches passes, but being able to provide a little bit more stability on that offensive line for blocking scenarios, I think is going to be big for the Bears also.
That's interesting that you said that Loveland has the best route running on the team. And I don't disagree with that. I don't have a problem with that because you think of DJ Moore, he's more of a strength guy. He not really, I'll give him high marks on routes. And Rome, he's more of athletic down the field. But I would think it would be Luther Burton. I understand you said Loveland. I think Luther Burton is going to be the best route runner on this team this season.
And he's a very good route runner too. He definitely has an opportunity to be there. Go ahead, Bobby.
Oh no, I was just gonna say I like Rome, man. I was looking at some old Detroit Lions. Hey, get ready. Hey, the Packers. Rome would fuck y'all up, and he wasn't even getting the ball. So, hey, the ball is definitely gonna start going his way a little more often. He finna cook. I expect big things out of Roma Dunze this season. And I think that it's stop trying to trade players off the team, guys. Please.
Yeah.
Can we have nice things, please?
Nephew, what do you think the biggest strength of the wide receiver core? I think the biggest strength of our core is hands. We got great hands on this team.
Yeah,
I don't think it's speed
too.
You say versatility?
Yeah, I would go versatility because you could line DJ Moore inside. Luther Burden,
you're right.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of people kind of overlook Luther Burden simply because his last season at Mizzou, he didn't really, do a lot of things downfield. If you look to the year prior to that, to where he actually had a good quarterback that was going to throw the ball the right way.
Say that.
He was cooking. So I think that the versatility from all the guys that's going to be, out there trying to catch passes, you're going to look at Cole Kmet. He gonna be able to operate up the seam. You're gonna be able to move Loveland to the outside and inside and right up on the line. You're gonna be able to do a lot of different things with this. And it's good that my man's Ben Johnson came in and he was like, this is not gonna be what we did in Detroit. This is a different type of guy. If we building this system around these guys that we have. So it's gonna be interesting to see.
I think hands isn't a bad thing, but I think it's going to be yards after the catch. We got a lot of guys that are going to thrive in yak, bro.
Absolutely.
And that's important too, because one of the best stretches that we saw from Caleb was that first game Thomas Brown took over as offensive coordinator, and what he did was run routes that it was basically simplified it for Caleb, and it put the ball in the hands of players and let them go to work. I think that's where Ben Johnson is going to thrive at, is coming out with routes and situations to just get the ball in the hands of the guys, let them figure it out after that. DJ Moore, good yak guy. Rome Odunze, good yak guy. Luther Burden, Colston Loveland, really good yak guys. I think that yards after the catch is going to be where we really thrive at. And then especially as Caleb's building that confidence and better awareness of attacking the middle of the field, that yards after the catch is going to be really important. Colston Loveland, another guy who's going to be really good at yards after the catch. So Cole Kmet, that's not necessarily where he thrives at. We know that he kind of goes down on the first tackle a lot of times, but that's something that I do think Colston Loveland is going to thrive at, is getting those yards after the catch.
I hate that about Cole Kmet. He's so big and strong. I hate that he go down off of one fucking touch. But that you guys are right. And all combined, I would just say our receiving core is just physical. Would all of those fit into that? Run after the catch, strong hands, and what did you say, nephew? You can move in versatility. The versatility, putting a big guy at the tight end in a slot position, destroying like a slot corner or something like that. Physicality. I like it.
I ain't mad.
Yeah.
I ain't mad.
Vern, we specifically said the best position to improve other than offensive line, and your ass put center. Since when is center not on the offensive line? Steve-O did it too.
Yeah.
Now, Steve-O got the excuse. Steve-O be high as a motherfucking kite. I don't even know if he even heard half of what we said. Come on, Vern. Anyway.
New Harper in the chat, like probably 10 minutes ago, said we were missing 3 things on this team. I would like to know what those 3 things are. Can you put it in the chat again, please? New Harper.
Did he leave? I'm making find a comment if he left. Or did he just say we were missing 3 things and left it at that?
I think he just said we're missing 3 things. I didn't see him. I was looking to see him put them in. He didn't put it in. I want to know.
Probably bring it running back. And I don't know.
Well, anyway.
Yeah. You know it's gonna be running back for sure.
I mean, yeah, but like we've said a lot too, is that people like to act like DeAndre Swift had some terrible season. The offense as a whole had a terrible season. 13, almost 1,400 yards as a running back from scrimmage on a horrible offense for 90% of the season. I think he's going to be fine under a better offensive play caller and better offensive line.
I agree. Personally. I think that, and then I also expect one of these young guys to step up behind him. That's just me personally. I don't think I know people gonna look at Kyle Monange and say, "Hey, he was a 7th round pick." I get it, but we've seen guys be drafted in later rounds throughout this NFL that have thrived in the right situation. Let's see if this young guy can go out there and thrive in this situation.
Let me point out, and I'll let the guys talk too. Let me point out why I disagree with you. And I'm not saying that I'm more right than you, but I'm going to explain my mindset on this. Running back position, I think we're going to have better balance. We already talked about that because of the improvements on the offensive line. Crimson made a great point about a month ago that I've been piggybacking off since then. A good to great offensive line is going to do more for your running game than a great running back behind a weak offensive line.
Absolutely.
And it's very simple in that. So I think that our running back crew is going to be good just because of that. And even when you're saying that he can't run through the A and B gap, guess what? We got 2 guys in Roshan Johnson and Kyle Monange that do run through the A and B gaps really well. And Ben Johnson's good at knowing that situation. As far as right defensive end, Deo Odingbo as a depth piece got 8 sacks. And he doesn't need to be like, I think people look at this as mad. I'm not saying this is what New Harper looks at it as, but I think some people look at this as mad and it's like, you got to have 2 guys that get 12 sacks each. No, you just got to have a guy on the opposite side of Montez Sweat that keeps defenses honest enough to where they can't double team him every play. And that with the added pressure we're going to bring from the interior defensive line with Adam Grady Jarrett, I think that the right defensive tackle is going to be great. I think it's going to be great. And as far as the linebacker, I give you that one. Ruben Hippolyte, Noah Sewell are the ones competing for that. The fact that Noah Sewell is competing for any type of starting role adds to a little bit of concern there. So I'll give you that one. The other 2 I disagree on, but how you guys feel?
Yeah, when you look at this, I think this was what most Chicago Bears fans are looking at: the running back position, the right defensive end, and the linebacker position. I'm on the chords with Drip, mostly on each one, especially with the running back position. I'm willing to see if DeAndre Swift can be better with a better offensive line. I think he deserved that with the production that he had last season. Second, with the right defensive end, we do have a guy that had 8 sacks last year, plus the ambition and progression of some of those, like Booker over there. You also got some other guys that can compete, and they can work as a unit over there until somebody takes the forefront of that position. The linebacker position, I'm not too disappointed in the linebacker position as most, because I believe that we'll see a lot of Kyler Gordon. I think we'll see a lot of Tremaine and TJ.
And listen, Zay Frazier is going to line up as the 3rd linebacker a lot. Watch. I thought I was going over it a little bit. Zay Frazier is going to line in clear passing downs. Don't be surprised to see Zay Frazier in there as the 3rd linebacker. So,
and big as hell.
And how give me a 1 to 10. How down are you out on Tummaine Evans? I'm not that down on Tummaine Evans like everybody else.
Tummaine is it's like we had the conversation with Eddie Jackson. It's the fact that it's how he's paid. If he was paid differently, I don't think as many people would have a knock on him. But when you give somebody the bag to be a Chicago Bears middle linebacker and their production is mid, it's going to be a little disappointing there.
That's great logic. I mean, go argue with that. That's very fair. But I still, when I sit back at it, I think I'm a little bit comfortable with the linebacker position. But the other 2, I'm like, well, let's sit back and chill and see what happens.
Yeah, I think that all of them, look, everybody got their reasons for it, but I'm also on the side of Haize. When it comes to the running back room, bro, I just think that, look, and I was one of the first ones on last season, like, hey, DeAndre Swift not hitting his hole. He keep trying to bounce everything out. And some people's like, nah, you just nitpicking. No, I'm not. He's giving up yards. You know what I'm saying? I know sometimes you can have and that break out and go crazy up on the sideline. But sometimes, like Eric Bieniemy put out when he first got to the team, hey, you got to take these 4 or 5 yards so we can move on to the next down. You know what I'm saying? And then you will get your opportunities. But to Haize's point, with the better offensive line, you expect things to be a lot better for these young guys. And my man Steve-O threw it in there, and I said it as well. Kyle Monangai led the Big Ten in rushing yards at Rutgers. And the Big Ten is definitely one of the best conferences to play football in, and he thrived in that. So I gotta see what these young guys can do. I don't think we should just automatically discount those young guys. When it comes to the edge, I think that you could, some people could be a little bit concerned, you know what I'm saying, with saying he was adept, he's got 8 sacks. But what my argument is going to be is the additions of Big Billings coming back, Jared being here now, the ascension of Javon Dexter now, and now you added on into that interior pass rush from the defensive line, that helps both of our defensive ends. But I still understand it to a degree. The linebackers, I'm confident with this system that they're going to operate in. It won't be a lot of pussyfooting like they was doing the last few seasons. You have to have these guys going downhill, especially in situations like when those moments and those situations come up and you got to apply pressure. You got to be right. And I don't necessarily believe that Matt Eberflus utilized Tummaine Evans completely to his strengths, me personally. And then I also believe that Tummaine Evans also has to step up. So there's some things we got to watch out for. But like I said, I want to see what we have before we just jump off the porch and say, all right, let's give away draft capital or extend extra money onto somebody that's maybe got to come off the street. I'm willing to wait and see first.
That's a fact. That's a fact. No notes there. So we shall see. I think that it's harder to judge sometimes when you're looking at improvement happening internally when you didn't change the name, and especially when so many people are down on Swift like they were last season. But I think that's going to come along. The linebacker depth is I am a little bit worried about it. I've said that before. But I think with the way that Dennis Allen specifically uses that third linebacker as an opportunity to get another defensive back out there, and he's going to drop down sometimes a defensive lineman in clear like pass situations where they want to blitz into that linebacker. I think overall the production from that third linebacker spot could be pretty solid. It's going to be in a non-traditional way, and I think that's the way you have to look at it.
That's what you gotta expect a lot of that, because the way Dennis Allen uses all those damn defensive backs is gonna be, to your point, what you just said not too long ago about Frazier. He's gonna use Kyler Gordon as that weak side linebacker sometimes. He's gonna use Zay Frazier as that weak side linebacker sometimes just to keep the offense, because everybody's gonna be doing all this motion. They're gonna try to spread everything out, and you need guys with speed. That's why I think that even though some people didn't like the Hippolyte draft selection. You can't deny somebody's speed. You can't coach speed, bro. You just hope that they can get him coached up the right way. So if he does need to fill in, he's able to get the job done.
That's a fact. That's a fact. We shall see. We shall see. Anything left, fellas, before we get out of here?
Hey, y'all don't take that. What's that? Alvin Kamara. He was over here in Chicago on the 4th. Don't draw nothing with that. Don't listen to no kind of narrative or anything. He just visited in Chicago. I don't know why it's hot as hell. I don't know what the hell he's doing here.
Bro, it's hot as hell everywhere, though. And motherfuckers who say that global warming or climate change ain't a thing, and I'm just like, bro, it was 98 degrees at 9 a.m.
Bro, that's crazy, bro.
That's climate change. Growing up, we knew that before noon, regardless of how hot it was going to be during the day, before noon, you had a good chance of it feeling pretty good.
Yes.
Almost 100 degrees before 9 a.m.
You better tell them, man. They don't want to believe it, Drip.
Bro, my son went outside to ride his scooter. He was outside. He came right back in. I said, what's wrong? He said, it's hot. He said, I'll go back out there when the sun start going. I said, you know what? I can't even blame you, bro.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, no,
I cut the grass at 8 p.m. the other day because that's when the sun started going down.
Like
Bro,
they doing that over here too.
Bro, I ain't got nothing to prove, bro. I'm almost 40. I ain't got shit to prove, bro.
So late.
Man, I appreciate y'all, man. Anything left before we get up out of here?
Oh man, we getting closer and closer. I'm saying it after every live, after every piece of content. Closer and closer we get to the season, baby. Let's
y'all
go.
Just stay locked in, man. Stay locked in, stay ready. And y'all already know we're gonna keep pushing this fire. We appreciate y'all, man. Hit that like button and subscribe.
Absolutely, man. Make sure I hit the like button. Y'all can follow us at Shy Bear Central. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns. ChicagoBearCentral@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave a text message and our voicemail for the mailbag, y'all been sliding on the voicemails here lately. The number to do so, 773-242-9336. With the #1 spot for everything Chicago Bears related. We'll see y'all on the next one. Peace, y'all.